Hi everyone, I'm Mandy, and this is Method to My Madness. I did not receive any questions after last week's video, so I'm changing the format of this vlog up, but just a little bit. Instead of waiting for questions, I'm going to be talking about important topics concerning mental health, and I will answer questions as I get them. Just to be clear, I still want questions. Please ask me questions. I'm pretty much just filling the space in between, and hopefully giving everyone something to think about. So this week, I'm going to go over the do's and don'ts of asking someone questions about their mental illness. This goes for both me personally and mostly anyone in real life, outside the computer. Do. Treat me like an adult. Don't treat me like a child. I don't want your pity, just your understanding. Do. Treat me like a human. Don't treat me like a chicken. Kidding. But seriously, don't treat me like I'm less than you because of my diagnosis. A good rule of thumb is if you wouldn't talk to a close family member with a chronic illness, say diabetes, arthritis, or asthma a certain way, don't talk to me that way. I'm just a regular person who has a condition that is incurable. I didn't ask for it, and I didn't do anything to cause it, so don't talk down to me about it. And for the record, yes, mental illnesses are in fact medical conditions. Every doctor will tell you this, and some mental illnesses are covered under disability acts. Okay, back to the list. Do ask me honest questions. What are my symptoms? What's it like living with voices? How does it affect my life? How does it affect my relationship, my job, my family, my cats, whatever? I have no problem answering questions that'll help you better understand the condition or possibly help you figure out if you're experiencing something similar and should see someone about it. Quick example of this. Last week, after telling someone that I had been diagnosed with PTSD, they asked me what symptoms I had that led to the diagnosis. Totally fine with that. Totally happy to share. Don't ask me super personal questions. It's not going to help either of us. I cannot stress this enough. And not kidding, I have been asked twice in the past week what event led to my PTSD. Not the symptoms I had for it, but the actual traumatic event that led to it. For those of you who don't know, PTSD stands for post-traumatic stress disorder. If I experienced an event that was traumatic enough to cause a mental condition, chances are I don't want to talk in detail about it. Doing so can trigger me, causing flashbacks or nightmares, or anxiety attacks, among other things. And does the event really matter? Even though there are common themes through PTSD, it all depends on the person. What may have been traumatic for me could be completely manageable for you, and vice versa. Now, this is not to discourage anyone from opening up to me about a traumatic experience they had. If you're looking for support and hearing what I went through would honestly help you, I'm not opposed to sharing. But if you're just asking out of curiosity or out of some sick thrill, which I can usually tell, I'm not going to tell you a thing. Okay, do be open-minded. If I'm opening myself up to you to help you understand, the least you can do is open yourself up to the possibilities. Don't argue with me about my conditions. I assure you, I am not now, nor have I ever claimed to have a mental illness or problem that I have not personally experienced, and for the most part that I have not personally been diagnosed with. The only exception to that is being whatever the voices are. Both my psychologist and my psychiatrist have acknowledged their existence, I just haven't been labeled for it yet. Don't tell me that what I feel, what I experience, or what I go through is not real, or worse, that it is not right. My anxiety attacks may not be the same as yours, but they're still anxiety attacks. Do be helpful and offer coping skills. If something has worked for you, or someone you personally know, sure, tell me. I'll try it. I can't guarantee it'll work, but I'm open to trying any non-destructive coping skill once. Don't tell me some cures you read about online or in some magazine or saw on some TV program. If there was a magical cure for depression or anxiety or PTSD, I'm pretty sure I would have heard about it before, like from a doctor. Don't tell me that my coping skills or my management skills are bad. I am not on pills and in therapy because I think they're fun. I'm using these skills because they work for me. I have tried the alternatives and they didn't work for me. When you tell me that what I'm doing is wrong or bad, I feel like you're insulting my intelligence. I am not a mindless sheep. I don't just take a handful of pills because some doctor told me to. I research every medication before I take it. Side effects, success rates, death rates, worst case scenarios, best case scenarios, it's all out there if you look. On the same note, I may have coping skills that aren't necessarily good for me, but they work for me. And if they work, it's better than the alternative. I used to self-harm and I acknowledge that it's bad, but it was better than killing myself. I don't hurt myself like that anymore. At the time, it served its purpose. It kept me alive. Now, if I feel like I can't stand being alive another minute, or if I need motivation to get out of bed, I indulge in a favorite food or dessert. In the long run, yeah, this is unhealthy, especially since the indulgence is usually fast food or sweets, like chocolate or ice cream. But for now, it works. It keeps me going. Do empathize or constructively sympathize. Even if you have no idea what anything I'm dealing with feels like, it's still nice for you to acknowledge that it is a struggle and that it sucks. Don't non-constructively sympathize. You're probably wondering what I mean by that. Well, I consider it non-constructive sympathy if you're acknowledging that I have an issue that I'm dealing with, but only by trying to make me feel better about it. So pretty much, at least statements. At least you're alive. At least you can see a doctor. At least you have support. Etc., etc. Yes, I acknowledge that I should be grateful for being alive, for being in a country that takes mental health seriously, and I acknowledge that many have it much worse than I do. But just like I can still consider myself happy if there's someone in the world who has it better than me, who is happier than me, I can still feel sad or hopeless when others have it worse. To me, it's like telling a starving person who has been given one slice of bread that they have no right to still be hungry because others have less. Okay, I think that's enough for today. Maybe it seems like I'm asking a lot, but if you look back at these, they're comparable to how you should treat everyone. It all comes down to treat others how you want them to treat you. You want to be treated like a human? Treat others like a human. Shocking, I know. Oh, I almost forgot. I have one more. But it has a qualifier. If you are the type of person who believes that mental illness is not a legitimate medical issue, that it is in fact made up, don't talk to me, because I don't need that kind of negativity in my life. Okay, if you have any questions or ideas for videos or subjects that you want me to cover, comment below or message me. Okay, everybody, see you next week.